Back to our channel. It's Connor and Mads here, and we just wanted to say welcome to all of you guys that are new here. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button on this video because it really helps us out. Also, hit that bell notification button so that you can be notified anytime a new video comes out. Today we have a super fun video for you.
We had this requested to us.
Shout out to you. Just so you know, every single time you make a request for a video, whether you comment it in our comments or you message us on Instagram, we will give you a shout out on the video that we do that you requested, and yeah, give you credit for the content.
So today we're going to be talking about
how we met. We're trying to tell you the best we can, but because we've been long distance our entire relationship, it can get a little confusing, so just stay with us. It's a really good story.
So it started when I walked into a church and I saw Madison singing. So at the time I was in a different relationship, but I saw her, I recognized her, but fast forward a couple years or so, I was in the Marine Corps at this point, going through infantry training battalion, scrolling through Facebook on my weekend when I had a little time off, and I see these balloons, they were shiny, so I was like, ooh, shiny. I clicked on the balloon picture and I see Madison, I'm like, ooh, attractive girl. So I see these and I start to make a connection. She's just turning 21.
My best friend Aspen got me those balloons, so shout out to her. She's the best friend ever.
I click on a picture and I start to want to research a little bit more into her, or stalk her, if you will. And I wanted to see what kind of person she was. I saw that she loved Jesus. She was extremely close to her family, and those things were extremely important to me. So I figured I would try to find a way to meet her. Thankfully, I found out that we were going to be getting a leave block. So I decided I was going to surprise my family back home. And in the meantime, I was going to try to figure out how to rendezvous with Miss Madison.
Not that kind of rendezvous.
Yeah.
We literally had our first kiss when we got engaged, and
we'll tell you that story later. Yeah, that's for another day. I start to talk to all my friends in the infantry, all my Marine buddies. I kind of like joked around with my buddies. I'm like, maybe I should meet up with Madison, just try to figure out where she's at and like bump into her and try to start an organic conversation, but that sounded even more stalkerish than me trying to stalk her Facebook. So I figured I'd mark that idea out. Then I talked to Adams and he said, no. Listen, what you need to do is type out a message and just send it to her, try to build a relationship with her before you get to meet her to see if it's even worth it. And I was like, that makes complete sense. Why didn't I think of that in the first place? I'm like, I still need more confirmation. So I say a little prayer, I get this message typed up, and literally the next day, she likes my picture on Facebook. Okay,
which is crazy because I don't remember liking his picture, and I didn't even know who he was really. I had no idea any of this was going on, obviously. I'd never even gotten a message or anything. I was also in another relationship prior to that, and so wasn't looking to date anyone, but I just think it's super weird. Like, I don't know, it must have been like a Marine Corps picture or something, but it was his sign from heaven, so.
Yeah, that ain't a sign from heaven, I don't know what it is. I click send on the message, and literally moments later, she doesn't reply, but her brother Zach replies and says, you can date my sister.
Yeah, so my older brother has special needs. He has a form of autism, and so what you can kind of like figure out from all these people is they don't have a lot of like filters, if that makes sense. In his mind, he was like, well, this guy's like messaging my sister. So he sends him a message and says, you can date my sister. And I had not even replied to the message yet, okay? So he sends me a message, and I'm just consulting my parents. I was actually like really excited because he looked like a really cool guy too. And I like consulted to my friends, but hadn't even responded to the message yet. And he messages him. It was a hard day for me and Zach, let me just tell you right now. We had a few words.
So at this point, I realized that her whole family probably knows that I messaged her, and I'm being talked about a lot, and I'm like, okay, she didn't respond, but somebody else would respond. So everybody knows about it.
Wait, I'm about to sneeze.
God bless you. Woo! Amen, Jesus. So eventually she actually did end up messaging me back, and I'll just post that little message right here. Give it a little gander, a little reading.
So then we started kind of messaging back and forth. I had a really crazy good feeling about him. He immediately, like, I think it was 2 days after we were messaging on Facebook, he had asked for a number, we started texting. He asked if he could call me. And so we had this really long conversation on the phone. I think we talked for like an hour or so, getting to know each other. He was so good with conversation, wanting to get to know me and my relationship with Jesus and like where I was in life, what I was studying in school. Everyone that like wants somebody that makes them feel that way. And so immediately I was just so excited to always talk to him. So we flew in on a Wednesday. We had all this anticipation, all these nerves of meeting up. Like we knew we wanted to meet up the day he got in, and yeah.
So I found out that she was on this like gluten-free type thing at the time. She's not now, but she was doing this thing at the time. So I tried to find a meal that catered to those needs and that we could share over like some type of like picnic or something. So I had this little thing set up or whatever.
An adorable idea, y'all, for the first time we met.
Before that, I wanted to meet her parents. So I went to their house, met them. That earned me a few brownie points.
Yeah. You boys, you men out there that are trying to pursue a girl, these are huge, huge brownie points for parents and the girl you're trying to get. He literally met my parents before he even met me when he got into town. He met my parents, told them he wanted to pursue me. They were like in love with him. They're like, oh my gosh, this guy is amazing for our daughter. What the heck? Why hasn't he been here sooner?
Pursuing is key.
Really is.
So I respectfully asked permission to date their daughter and I got the okay. So green light was go. I went to go pick her up, but at this time it was about
10 o'clock at night.
So I was still in California time. Which,
yeah.
And my time it was still 8 o'clock. So it was still like kind of late, but not too late. I went and had everything set up already, pre-staged, and I get to her condo and I start to walk up to her door and she's already walking out because I couldn't find her, so she decided to come help me. We met like halfway, like down this walkway, and it was like nighttime, but she was like super glowing. Her hair was doing like the slow motion like wind thing. I was like, what the heck is going on? And
it was love at first sight, really.
I had all these things I was gonna say to her and everything in my mind just mush. I could not think of a word to say. I was like, I think that's what came out, yeah. But we awkwardly hugged and said, hi, how's it going?
He brought me flowers, so sweet. I was like, this guy is a winner.
Make sure you take the price tag off flowers.
Yeah, okay, yeah. He got my flowers at the dollar store.
Anyway, so
he's a penny pincher, but it's worked out in our favor.
We got in the car and I asked her if she had ate on the way to this pre-staged beautiful picnic setting, and she said yes. And at that point, my heart had started beating extremely fast, and I didn't know what to do. So
I said yes, I had already eaten. Okay. Because it's 10 p.m. If you haven't eaten by 10 p.m., we have some serious issues here.
Big issues. I did some terrible planning on my part. I will admit that. But we ended up just engaging in conversation, and we started talking throughout the night. I just completely bailed on that plan. Didn't even tell her about it. We just started driving around.
And he had previously told me that he had like a huge plan for me. He was like, I've got something so fun in store. I think I had like a little dress on, some cute little sandals. I was super excited, and then we ended up just driving around. I'm pretty sure he did like the same loop, and I'm just like, what is going on?
She's like, okay, let's go home, Mr. Weirdo. So I drove her back to the condo, and we pull up back into her parking lot right outside of her condo building, and she proceeds to try to get out of the car. I'm like, hey, wait, maybe we could just like talk for a little bit. And I know like probably most girls in this situation was like, oh, he probably wants to like make out with her, like give her a kiss, but that wasn't my intention. I literally just wanted to talk.
We didn't kiss in her engagement, seriously, we're not kidding.
I just really wanted to talk to her and get to know her. She's like, okay, so she gave me like 30 more seconds to talk, and it still didn't go anywhere.
So if you know me, I hate awkward situations. I do everything in my power to get out of awkward and uncomfortable situations. In his mind, he was like, oh, she's like rushing out of the car. She doesn't like me. The next day, like I'm pretty sure like we didn't even like text or anything that night. I think maybe you sent me like one message. He had told me previously that he had to like hide from his family for a little while until the surprise came. And so he had like that whole next day to just chill and hide. And so I was like, maybe he wants to hang, like he has nothing else to do today. And so he never texted me. Like he literally never texted me. And so my mom, shout out to my mom, and then my best friend Aspen, they're like, just text him. Just tell him that you want to see him or something. I was the kind of person that was like, if he wants to talk to me, he can text me, and if he doesn't, then bad boy. The more time that went on and the more he didn't text me, I assumed that there was some sort of miscommunication, and so I texted him, and he kind of wanted to go from there.
The night before, I had felt completely defeated when she decided to leave earlier than I had planned. I was like, okay, she probably wants nothing to do with this, so I'm just gonna go home, never bring it up again. And that was my plan. But thankfully, next day, she ended up sending out that message. She said that she was disappointed that we didn't get to spend more time together and see where our relationship went. And at that point, I was like, where are you at? We were hanging out.
Literally, he was like, where are you? I'm coming to get you. And then that day was like amazing. We went to Walmart and got his disguise costume, and like, it was so fun. And literally the rest of that weekend, we spent every waking minute together. I'm pretty sure one night he stayed till like 3 a.m. and we were just talking about life and just like our dreams, and just, it was so crazy and so authentic in that one weekend. And then he had to leave. Like
she said, there was those conversations we had like really late, right before she had to sing the next day. And the next day she was gonna be singing at a church again. And that was really cool. I don't know, just kind of like symbolic about how our timeline kind of shifted together. So I went to church with her family and I got to see her sing. And that was one of the things that like stuck out to me the most, is he took time to come watch me sing and sit with my family the first weekend that I had ever met him. Like, he was that genuine and that respectful of me that he like wanted to get to know my family and pursue me, and like, it was just really, really cool. The church service ended and she walked me out to my car before I left for the airport, and I just remember like getting in the car and like we just had this moment where we just kind of like looked at each other. We hugged and stuff, and I started to feel that feeling of like I miss her, or
yeah,
because I was about to head to the airport. And she started like walking back to the church for the second service, and I remember just like watching her all the way until like the door opened and then closed behind her, and I was like, oh dang, I gotta figure out how to see her before she forgets about me. In my mind, I'm like, I should not be this sad, because it's like, I've only known you for a couple days. Yeah. Anyways. That is the story of how we met. If you're dating someone that you're not 100% sure about, or you're in a relationship that you're not sure about, it is not too late to get out. Like, we have both been in relationships that were not healthy. Our relationship was so smooth. I know that there's, you know, instances where relationships work out that aren't as smooth, but honestly, like, the whole time we knew, like, we didn't have a doubt in our mind ever about our relationship. So if you're in a relationship that you're not sure about, get out. At least like take a break or something and pray about it and see what the Lord like wants for you, because he wants you to be in an incredible marriage one day, and it is so rewarding. And you don't want to be with someone that you're fighting with and that it's hard to be with. Really reevaluate your relationship if you're not sure that you want to be in it, and God has somebody so great for you, and we're testaments of that. So that's it for today's video, and remember,
you're always able. See you next time.